7 years ago, we started a competition that is unique among entrepreneur events for students at universities. It is our V2 Pitch competition. This year, seventh time, we actually have the best teams we've had so far. Many of our students have great technology, our engineers, for example, or our business students know a lot about their markets, but turning that idea into a real venture is a challenge with lots of different parts to it, and we can really help them with that. If you think about entrepreneurship as a source of innovation, as a source of bringing new ideas into the university and into the markets, the economy, and the general community, entrepreneurship plays a key role.
The San Diego economy for startups is growing and it's buzzing. There's so much activity going on, and we're happy at the University of San Diego to be playing our part with the students and with the ideas that are coming forth from our university. This evening, we're here to celebrate students and young entrepreneurs that have already achieved so much. We come together tonight to celebrate these new ideas of innovation that are driving the university. There's a lot of people that help us get to this evening. We have mentors that are working with our students, alumni that come together to support new ideas, investors that share the evening with us, people that help us financially. There's a whole village of support that comes together to celebrate the V2 Pitch competition, and we're so happy that they are a part of the team. In these 7 years, it's been incredible to see the growth of our program, and we look forward to even more entrepreneurial energy on this campus and seeing what emerges. Bienvenidos, estamos felices que están aquí.
Bienvenidos a todos los emprendedores. I'm Mike Lawless. I'm the founder of the V2 Pitch competition. Y mi español es tan pobre. So I'll continue in English. Welcome everyone to the seventh iteration of our V2 Pitch competition. We have strong new ventures and excellent angel investors to hear the pitches and decide how to allocate the funds. I want to get straight into the introductions. I'm honored to have a great supporter, both in terms of leadership and financially, our Dean, Jaime Gomez, Dean of the Business School at the University of San Diego.
It is always vibrant to be in the presence of so much energy about entrepreneurship, innovation, change-making. 37% of the graduates of our MBA program, they have their own business. 1/3 of the total population on the graduate level population here at the University of San Diego, they come from a family business background. In USD, the strategic plan of the University of San Diego dictates that we are to educate with a positive change-making mentality. This is why we are doing all of this: the venture betting competition, the social innovation challenge, the Torero Venture Initiative. We really try to make a substantial difference in the economic and social development of our communities. This is the why. We are co-producers of sustainable wealth, new employment, new prosperity. Moving from the why to the what, in order to be able to comply with our desires and our purpose, there are 7 skills and competencies that we try to emphasize in the school. One is the ability to make the complex simple. Number 2, the ability to manage frustration, emotional endurance. One of the presentations is going to be related to that. We are going to have a WhatsApp-based psychological and psychiatric services. I'm going to be the first client. Number 3, the management of risk and ambiguity. Number 4, rapid design capabilities. And number 5, change-making mentality. These are 5 competencies that we really try to promote in the school. And as we enter the venture betting competition, it is obvious that we are going to develop or enhance these 5 competencies that we are trying to promote as part of our education. Now, we have the why and we have the what. How do we do it? Well, let us assume that we have a person with an idea And in conjunction with the School of Engineering, we are putting together an iWorkspace in which people from community, people from university, and any other origin, we come together and we start imagining things. So we're going to put together that as a new physical space, but also a virtual space. Once we enter into this space, we also have the chance to interact with people like Stat Karas, our director of the Real Estate Center, or many of the faculty members or people in our Small Business Development Center, Mr. Rusk. So we go from an idea into developing a value proposition and a business plan. So we move from something which is ethereal and kind of fluid into something more concrete. So we translate ideas into value propositions, business models, and business plan. After that, we come here and we get $30,000 in prizes. Or we come to the Social Innovation Challenge and we also get a similar amount of money. So now we have an idea, a value proposition, a business plan. Then what is Mr. Rusk? Our director right there, our director of the Small Business Development Center. She has, thank you. She has $250,000 in order to help us put our ideas and our business plans into an incubated process and also launch our ideas into the market. So ideas, business plans, incubation, and then we become responsible business owners and millionaires in ascending order. So that's exactly what we are doing here with all of you together, because we really want to emphasize the why, because we believe that we can be co-producers of sustainable wealth. The what, the 5 competencies and skills. The how, the process I just described, ideas, venture betting competition, social innovation challenge, or the Torero Venture Initiative. And then we move into the Small Business Development Center. The center, the Small Business Development Center, just started in January, and we already have 55 clients. And we really try to co-produce new wealth, new employment, new ways of understanding life. At the end of our journey, we're going to be sustainable, responsible business owners, and definitely we're going to profit from that. We in the School of Business are happy to share all of this with you, and more important, not only sharing, we're working and building futures together. Welcome to the Venture Betting Competition.
Thank you, Dean Gomez. You might think that all this just comes together automatically, but it doesn't. The person who manages it, makes it all happen, is our entrepreneurship manager, Regina Bernal.
I think that we're all here today because we share something in common. We like innovation. We like to reimagine. We like to see a world that maybe doesn't even exist yet. And these are our students and what they're working on. I'm so impressed that all of these are full-time students. They are working on their ventures. They're studying. They have final exams. They have insecurities and fears of what they're going to do with their future. And still, they're here to share their ideas. To me, that's very brave and very impressive. Some of the students that I've been able to work this year that I've seen really incredibly make everything happen, they're behind the scenes with their energy every day, bringing in speakers, really getting this campus excited about entrepreneurship is our entrepreneurship club. And I'm going to bring them up so that we can congratulate them. And they're going to come, they're going to say their name and their title.
Hi, my name is Zaina Alfi, and I'm the president of the Entrepreneurship Club.
Hi, I'm Ashley Cardenas, and I am the operations coordinator. Hello, my name is Kenzie Murphy, and I'm the marketing officer.
Hello, I'm CJ Valencia. I'm the vice president.
Hi, I'm Stefano Sorio, and I'm the social engagement officer.
Hi, I'm Joseph Ellis, and I'm the treasurer.
Hey, I'm Matt Hickman, photographer and videographer.
So I have to mention that they made their own board, they made their own t-shirts, and they've created a community, and that's why we're here today. They bring us together, and They really exemplify our entrepreneurial spirit here at USD. So let's get excited. This is a community that we've built. This is why we're here. And thank you so much to the E-Club and to the students that are going to be presenting today.
Thanks, Regina. Thanks, Entrepreneurship Club. 5 years ago, the V2 Pitch competition expanded from just USD students to include students from Mexico. And the city of Tijuana, the development office in particular called CEDITI, has been very helpful with us in any number of different ways, facilitating our presence in Tijuana. And this year, presenting the cash portion of the award for the Mexican student entrepreneurs. And I'm happy to have David Moreno come up and say a few words on behalf of the city of Tijuana and CEDITI.
Thank you very much, Michael. So it's great to be here again, second year. Good afternoon, everyone. I would like to extend on behalf of our mayor, Juan Manuel Gastelum, a sincere gratitude, first of all, because of promoting the excellent collaboration for this great project in order to foster and promote the binational entrepreneurial culture, creativity, and innovation of this, what we call the Cali Baja mega region. And as we say in the university, is where entrepreneurs, like so many of you, get an idea, and where you build a team, or you work to turn it into a reality. And you launch projects, companies, and entire industries that really transforms the way we live. That's the real power of entrepreneurship, and we think that's never been more important than today. In today's world, where our economies have undergone dramatic shifts, where businesses do not stop at borders, where technology and automation have transformed virtually every industry and changed how people organize and work, entrepreneurship remains an engine of growth. The ability to turn an idea into reality is happening here today. A new venture, small business that creates good paying jobs, that keeps both of our economies on the path of success and empowers people to come together and tackle our most pressing regional problems. Where people can start their own businesses, it helps individuals and families. It can make a whole community and more prosperous and more secure. It offers a positive path for young people seeking a chance to make something of themselves. By this example, today, we are cultivating a culture where innovation and creativity are valued in a binational level, where we don't just look at the way things have always been, but rather we say we can do things better and something new. I look across this room, all of you different, I think you all different backgrounds and cultures, probably races and religions, but from the same region. And we all have that spark that's inside of us, that same creative energy to come up with innovative solutions to old challenges. Entrepreneurship is what gives people like you a chance to fulfill your own dreams and create something bigger than yourselves. We live in such a blessed binational region with more than 6 million of inhabitants and a very young population. That means we got to make sure that all of our young people have the tools that they need to start new ventures and create the jobs for this 21st century. For that reason, my boss, Mayor Juan Manuel Gastelum, and Mayor Kevin Faulconer made a commitment recently and signed an MOU in order to promote this unique binational region in terms of education, economic development, public safety, regional planning, parks and recreation, and emergency management, with emphasis on entrepreneurship and innovation specifically, projects that allow us to develop new perspectives to help our economies diversify and strengthening our markets. I would also like to take the opportunity to extend my thanks to Professor Michael Lawless. Where's he at? Thank you very much, Michael. And of course, Dean Alonso Gomez. Thank you very much. Of the University of San Diego and all of his team for this great support and collaboration and making things happen for this second round of Tijuana participation on the V2 pitch competition. On behalf of the city of Tijuana, thank you and wish you all the greatest success. Thank you very much.
Thank you, David. I have a couple of announcements and some thank yous. We have 6 young, energetic, inspired, and probably nervous teams backstage waiting to come out and pitch. So I'll get through this fairly quickly. As soon as we're done with these introductions, we'll have 6 pitches of 7 minutes each, 3 from teams from the University of San Diego, 2 from Mexico, and 1 from Uruguay. That is followed by one-on-one 10-minute meetings between each of the entrepreneur teams and each of the angel investors. Chance for the angel investors to get a little bit deeper into the projects that are being presented to them. Then the angels will meet and decide how to allocate the funds in the Latin American fund and the USD fund. And we should finish up around 8:30 this evening. I want to make some quick thank yous. Our first round angels had a critical job of moving on the USD side from 30 pitches to 3 finalists. And you saw some of the non-finalists who are still very successful, have wonderful ventures out in the venture fair to start the evening off. On the Mexico side, there's 60 students who were involved in presenting to us at one stage or another. And we ended up with 2 teams from Mexico. One team from Uruguay presented via Skype a few weeks back, and they came up here to join us. That's the City Cop that you'll see toward the end of the pitches, and they were escorted by a faculty member from ORT University in Uruguay, Santiago Fork, who's joined us. Santiago, would you please say hi to everyone? Santiago makes this happen at his end, and it took him 14 hours, as long as his team, to be here with us tonight. So thank you very much for being here. The in-kind prize providers have been flashing up in the slides as we've been talking. Also want to acknowledge the Social Innovation Challenge, Amit Kikag and his team. They had an event last evening, part of Innovation Week here at USD. Our angel investors, I'll introduce in just a second, and Misky Rusk, who stood up and said hi. There is a custom here for our V2 pitch competition. Have a little fun to get the evening started. And that is, I'll introduce each of the angel investors, and I'll ask you to hold your applause to the end, except for our V2 pitch competition 1 clap. So I'll introduce each of the investors. They'll come up, take their place at the tables. And as they come up, I'll ask you to just do 1 clap. So let's try that all together. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Awesome. You're great. Okay. All right. So our USD investors are Anita Mahaffey. Yes. Stath Karras. And you can find their bios in the program, the electronic program, by the way. And Amanda Letman. Our Latin America angel investors, Alberto Ocio, Sylvia Ma, and Ramon Toledo. And now we can give them all a big hand. Thank you. I should mention that when we have the breakouts, they will be in the rooms off to my right. And there will be a guide from the Entrepreneurship Club, plus an electronic display outside each room that tells you at that time period which entrepreneurship team is meeting with the angel investor in that room. So you can find your way there. You're welcome to sit in, listen to all of them with one, or move around and get a sample from each. So let me just finish off by inviting you to the order in which these folks are coming up. So the USD pitches are going to be Kingery, Generations, and Pickett, and we'll have those next. So I think Kingery is ready. Okay, so Kingery, you are on.
These are for you. Hello, everyone. My name is Nelson Kingery, and tonight I'll be presenting my company, Kingery Works. I'm personally involved in motorcycles and have a passion for making jewelry. I grew up around the jewelry bench all my life, and I really started getting it when I was 16. Kingery Works is a men's-focused jewelry brand inspired by the cafe racer motorcycle culture. The world right now is flooded with screaming eagles and skull jewelry for men. It's everywhere. My line of jewelry appeals to those who are interested in quality and style over trends and fads. These 3 templates right here are my 3 templates. And in addition to these 3 rings, I'm currently in the development process for borrowing from mechanical elements of motorcycles. Sorry. Can I go? And then, all right, so the attitude towards men's jewelry is changing for the better. Younger men are becoming increasingly confident in expressing their style and look. 25 to 35-year-olds are spending an additional 28% more on jewelry per year. According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, the average household spends around $100 per year on jewelry and around $500 for the higher income households. So to survey my addressable market, I used Instagram. I found that hashtag men's jewelry was more prevalent than hashtag women's jewelry. This is significant because it shows the real interest men have with jewelry. So I conducted a $20 advertising campaign, and in 1 week, I found that I had 800 men that I reached from LA to the San Diego area. So given that, the majority of them were 18 to 34. So after I did that, I had an engagement of 37%, which is remarkable. So last year, I sold approximately 50 rings by going to school full-time and funding my business out of pocket. So right now, my competition with Kingery Works involves the Hoffman and Witness Company. So what my advantage is by looking at these, I really found that I could illustrate what sets me apart by offering interchangeable features, customizable components, and leather integration. With this, Kingery Works will go forward with a first mover advantage. So Kingery Works can currently be found on Instagram, Etsy, Facebook, and the Kingery Works website. As of now, I'm in negotiations with British Customs, Parker Provisions, and James Coffee for collaborative product placement. So I intend to sell my product in the future in specific retail stores such as Univ, Red Cloud Collective, and Iron and Resin. So with projections for 2018, they're around $100,000. Without proper funding, I'll incur a larger expense. So my investment ask is $35,000. The investment ask will be utilized in these 3 categories: manufacturing, operations, and marketing. These 3 categories help fund through covering my fixed cost, variable cost, and marketing budget for the first month, and bridges the gap of the time it takes to break even. So in June, I'll be finalizing my jewelry brand, and incorporating Kingery Works. From July through August, I'll be manufacturing my product and initiating my ad campaign. By the beginning of September, I'll be My product will be launched, and I'll be marketing aggressively through all my channels. I anticipate that October will be a big month for me, as I plan to partner with complementary brands and prepare for the holiday season. Ending the year, I'll be focusing on creating new relationships, setting future goals, and working on the efficiencies of manufacturing. So by the end of 2019, I want to be in retail stores and expanding my Kingery Works team by 2020. So as with any new company, there are roads in the bumps. I mean, there's bumps in the road. My bad. So I really appreciate the gentlemen here. They're my advisors that have been helping me, and they'll be specifically helping me with the marketing, scaling, building new retail relationships, and creating content for my brand. So thank you very much. But first of all, the funds that will help me will help propel my business to a unique, scalable, design-driven company. So no more screaming eagles and skull jewelry. Let's customize your style with Kingery Works. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Kingery. Our next pitch is by Generations.
For having me. Hello, thank you for having me. We have a major problem in America, one that affects every single person in this room. Human beings are a tribal species. We're meant to live in family groups. This allows us to serve our individual needs as well as contribute to society as a whole. As the populations of our cities increase, so too does our disconnect. On the one hand, we have 11 million seniors that are socially isolated, in part because they're geographically removed from their families, and that statistic is expected to double in the next 20 years. On the other hand, we have young families that are struggling to make ends meet. In San Diego, in 2018, the median housing price is $543,000. That means that a household needs to have an income of 6 figures to begin to afford a house. And if that wasn't enough, rising childcare costs make it so that it's impractical to have 2 working parents in most cases. Generations is the bridge that links these 2 communities. It can be monetized while creating something beautiful. Generations is a web-based service platform that allows stay-at-home parents to build a business and an income by providing caretaking and companionship services to seniors. Think Uber meets Care.com, shopping trips, rides to the doctor, meals in the home, and that's just the beginning. Our stay-at-home parents can build a menu of services around the needs of their family and post it to the website. Our homebound seniors can then book those services on the website, or more likely, by calling a customer service representative and having them do it for them. The services are paid for by seniors themselves, and Generations keeps 20% of revenues as an industry standard. Generations has a competitive advantage by being a first mover in the market. Government agencies and nonprofits serve seniors, but they're limited by government funding, by donations, and volunteer hours. Generations is 100% sustainable because we're self-funded. We also serve the unaddressed market of companionship and relationship building. In addition, we serve not 1, but 4 end users. Each generation has needs to be met, as well as contributions that they can make. Our baby boomers have wisdom, time to spend, but they need relationships, they need companionship. Their sons and daughters, Gen X, these are professionals. They have a small disposable income, but they don't have time. They need the peace of mind that their parents are well taken care of and are healthy and happy. Millennials have mobility and small pockets of time with which they need to build an additional income. And lastly, our Alpha Gen, these are our little guys. They have plenty of love, and trust me, as a mother of two, they have plenty of energy. What they need is to learn the value of caring for the elders in their community. I'm going to tell you a story of where Generations started. The VFW donated a Christmas tree to my elderly father. And it wasn't the tree itself that was meaningful, but rather the time the sponsor family spent with him decorating it. I can't be with my father every week, and so I asked the mom of that family if she could have him over for Sunday night family dinners. It's always the highlight of his week. And I've offered her $30 for that service. And that was our first successful alpha test. Since then, we've added 5 families and 7 homebound seniors. This generates $350 worth of revenue each week. And we're now ready to beta test. We've created an interest list that has 17 retirement communities, 79 stay-at-home moms, stay-at-home parents, and 119 homebound seniors. And all of these people are eagerly awaiting the launch of Generations. Now let's talk operations. We have 3 industry leaders that we've looked at to model our business model as well as our revenue model. We will also be growing in phases, 1 community at a time. A community consists of 100 seniors and approximately 25 families to serve them. We will be growing a community leader from within that's responsible for marketing, recruiting, and the training within their community. Now, imagine with me, each senior spends just $25 in services per week. 1 community can generate $130,000 of revenue in 1 year. But wait, that's not all. In 1 year, in our first year, we will develop 1 community per month. In our second year, we will double those efforts and develop 2 communities per month. And in our third year, we will have the infrastructure in place to grow exponentially. This system can be duplicated or franchised in potentially any major city across America. Now let's meet the management team that's going to make this happen. My name is Janera Quigley, and my colleague Anna Keneally and I are USD graduate business students. Anna has experience in accounting and marketing and consults for startups in that capacity for the last several years. She is also the founder of Leftovers of Love, a successful nonprofit right here in San Diego. I have been a director of training as well as director of operations in the medical industry, and I was a leadership mentor and consultant. We've partnered with USD's legal clinic to round out our management team for the first 2 years before we scale. We are asking for $30,000 to breathe life into this company. $12,000 to launch our multidimensional marketing campaign that will address all 4 market segments that we mentioned earlier, and $18,000 to build out our web platform. And this is not incremental funding. With this funding, we will generate revenues on day 1. And in the first year, we will be 100% sustainable. The time to move is now. We must leverage our technological landscape to build a strong and connected community before it's too late. My name is Janera Quigley, and this is Generations. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Huge smiles. Pickett is our final USD pitch team.
The history of lawn care is characterized by periods of innovation followed by stagnation. The last major breakthrough occurred almost half a century ago and gave us the lawnmowers we know today. Despite progressions in both technology and consumer values, we're still stuck with the same clunky, gas-dependent mowers my grandparents used. It's time for a change. It's time for Picket. Right now, if you want to buy a gas mower, there's two main options. The gas mowers cost about $250 plus about $100 a year for gas and maintenance, while the electric mowers are about $300 plus $20 a year in charging fees. The gas mowers especially pose a significant threat to the environment. You have to fill them with fuel frequently, and it takes about 17 million gallons of fuel are spilled doing this each year, contributing to polluted runoff. Also, lawnmowers produce more greenhouse gases than cars, and it's estimated that an hour of mowing the lawn produces more air pollution than 100 miles of driving, adding up to 5% of our nation's air pollution. Current mowers are big, bulky, and loud. They take up about 6 square feet of floor space in your garage and weigh on average 100 pounds plus the added weight of clippings. Also, injuries due to lawnmowers are not uncommon, and about 80,000 people a year end up in the hospital because of them. So our solution to these problems is called Picket. Picket is built around an oscillating blade design that captures each blade of grass and cleanly slices through it, rather than hacking your grass off with a big rotating blade. These blades are powered by a rechargeable battery that you charge by simply placing Picket on top of its including charging cradle. We estimate this battery would allow you to mow about 3,000 square feet of yard per charge, which is about double the size of the average American lawn. If you need to mow more, you can swap it out for another battery. Picket's handle is completely collapsible, and it features a shield that will slide down and protect the blade while not in use, making it very portable. Finally, when you put all these components together, plus the added cost of labor, we estimate it would cost about $150 to produce Picket. We would sell Picket for around $250, which would give us a good profit margin, as well as a competitive advantage over both electric and gas competitors. Compared especially to the gas competitors, Picket is more eco-friendly since it's 100% rechargeable and has 0 emissions. At the same time, Picket embraces a method called grass cycling, where clippings are cut up into tiny pieces and redistributed at the base of your lawn. This reduces the need for fertilizer by 25%, and since the grass clippings are 90% water, they decompose rapidly. Picket would weigh about 85 pounds less than current competitors and take up about 1/6 of the floor space. In fact, to charge Picket, a user could simply hang it from the wall in her garage or place it on a shelf. Finally, we designed the blade of Picket specifically to be much safer than those of current mowers.
We began researching our market by calling residents in Washington state. From there, we developed Picket. About most of these users said that they were looking for an electric lawnmower that took up half the space and required less maintenance than mowers that are currently on the market. We then expanded this research to a national level by calling homeowners associations in 5 different states. About half of these users told us they hired others to do their lawn work, and that's when we realized that we could target lawn care services as well as the individual customer. We plan to continue this research this summer as we'll be conducting face-to-face interviews in Washington, Maryland, and Minnesota. So grass is the #1 crop in all but 9 states in the US, and the green industry has been rapidly recovering from a recession and has grown into a $69 billion industry. New houses are being built and the average size of the lawn is decreasing. So that allows us to target the independent resident who is looking for a smaller and more affordable mower. This also points us towards lawn care services, as studies have shown that they're interested in using new technology and that their biggest business concern is high fuel prices. This matter can be alleviated with Picket. So we are going to enter the market in Western Washington, as Pierce County has a higher rate of new residents than any other county in the US. New housing developments are being built up, and water is much more available and affordable to maintain a lawn in Washington, unlike it is here in San Diego. So before we bring Picket into production, we're going to start by focusing on prototyping and legal considerations. We're currently working with the USD machine shop to pick out a tool that will help cut our specific blade, and then in the summer, we're going to be building a minimal viable product. From there in the fall, we'll begin prototyping, and we'll start researching how we can make Picket smarter and possibly autonomous. Once we have a prototype, we'll test it with our users before bringing it to production. As far as legal considerations go, we're going to continue our patent search in the summer. In the fall, we're going to apply for a provisional patent, and then that will give us a year to work on applying for a regular patent application, and this will protect our intellectual property and increase our business's durability as we enter the market. So Austin and I are both mechanical engineering majors here at USD, and we are the first 2 students to be a part of an engineering entrepreneurship certificate. This will help us give us some business knowledge as we build up Picket, as well as having our technical background. We're adding 2 new members to our team this fall, Mariella Saviola, and she's going to help us with the circuitry of Picket, and Ethan, who will help us explore how to make it autonomous and develop a possible sharing aspect built around charging kiosks. And then we've been working with some incredible mentors throughout this whole process, Tom Lufer, Khaled Amale, Dr. Venkat Shastri, and Dr. Frank Jacobitz.
We're requesting $22,000 to get us off the ground. Sydney and I are both very enthusiastic about this venture and committed to its success, and we've already set aside time both this summer and all of next year to work on it. Any funds awarded tonight would go directly towards these 3 goals. First, they'd allow us to purchase any materials and tools necessary to make our minimum viable product and iterate it. They'd also allow us to conduct an in-depth patent search, submit a provisional patent, and hire an attorney who will help us make a comprehensive final patent application. Finally, these funds will allow us to catalyze our production and get our product to users as quickly as possible. Our mission is to bring the lawnmower into the modern age. The days of the clunky, orange gas guzzlers are in the past. Technological improvement has always been an important part of the American dream. With Picket, we continue this theme of constant improvement while maintaining the all-American ideal of the white picket fence. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm just thrilled. These teams are so great, aren't they? Actually, they can hear us backstage. Just give it up for all the USD teams. Thank you. The next 3 teams are in the Latin American track of our V2 pitch competition. INTID is next up. INTID.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Alonso, and we are Intelligent Identification, or as we like to call it, INTID. So we have developed a smart lock technology. The idea first came to us when a friend of ours told us he had traveled to Acapulco and he had booked with Airbnb. Now, due to a delay in his flight, he arrived at his destination later than he had expected. And well, he tried to contact the host at that time, but he was unable to. And for that reason, he had to stay at a hotel for that night. Now, there's another problem we identified, which is when an acquaintance of ours told us she had ordered a television online. Now, at the expected delivery time of that package, she was not going to be able to be at home. And well, she had to go and pick the package herself at the post office, which is an inconvenience to her. Now, the solution we are proposing is our smart lock technology that works in conjunction with your smartphone. Now, what does this technology include? So we developed our own INTID wallet, which is based off of blockchain technology. This gives the user a full control over the accesses that can be granted, and it gives the user a registry of these accesses. You are able to send accesses to whomever you desire, being yourself anywhere in the world, making this an Internet of Things device. Now, for security purposes, we implement the Bitcoin encryption protocol, which is both fast and secure. Now, how does it work? We have here our door lock, and you have your smartphone with our application. Inside it, it contains your own INTID wallet. You present it to the scanner. Once the access is verified and validated, the door is open, and you are able to go through. What makes us different? So, for starters, since we do have in mind as a priority the security of our customers, we designed our own blockchain. We limit the amount of information that is stored per customer while still getting the benefit of having that registry and that full control over the accesses, which is what our wallet is used for, the administration of the keys. And for security purposes, the encryption protocol of the Bitcoin. Now, our target, our ideal model, is licensing our technology. We plan on, as a price point, $69.99 per unit that is sold using our technology. Now, what this will include is our motherboard, our application with our IntID wallet, which is the software, one master key, and 1 year of subscription. Now, we also have other ways of generating revenue. First off, to validate the market, we plan on selling our own kit for $149.99. Our kit will include our smart lock, 1 year of subscription and online technical support, one master key, and you will be able to download the application either on Android or iOS. We will also sell master keys for $14.99 each, and we will have our monthly and annual subscriptions for $4.99 and $49.99. So our early adopters are owners of properties listed through Airbnb. We plan on reaching out to this market with through Airbnb trade shows, getting involved with the Airbnb community, and going to Airbnb meetups. Our competitors are mainly Stage, Kwikset, and Amazon with Amazon Ring. Compared to theirs, our price is fairly competitive, being the lowest out of them all. We offer unlimited electronic keys, which not all of them do. And we are the only ones that implement the blockchain technology, and our encryption method is the fastest and most secure out of all the encryption methods that are used. Our team, it consists of Angel, Jonathan, Ruben, Fernando, and myself, Osvaldo. Now, our projections from our early adopters, which is the Airbnb market, across the world, there are over 4.5 million properties listed with Airbnb. We plan on targeting 5% of these, multiplied by the price of our licensing. That gives us, in total, over $15 million in revenue. Now, our status. Up until now, we have finished developing our first prototype in conjunction with our application, and we also trademarked our brand. For this year, we plan on doing our Kickstarter campaign and also implementing our custom blockchain. For next year, we plan on designing our own smart lock and incorporating with Google Home and Alexa. Now, we are raising $10,000 for the implementation of our custom blockchain, for designing our smart lock, and for registering our patents. Thank you so much for your attention and your time. Here's our contact information. We are IntID.
Thank you. Therapsy is next. Therapsy.
Hi. My name is Perla Nale, and I'm the CEO and founder of Therapsy. Let me tell you a story. 3 years ago, my best friend was studying his medical specialty in Mexico City. At that time, I was studying psychiatry in Guadalajara, Mexico. One day he told me he was struggling with depression and panic attacks. I encouraged him to seek professional help. I also gave him a number of a colleague in Mexico City. But he was worried about people might think if he go with a psychiatrist. He was worried most of all about the medical community judge him, so he didn't receive help. A couple weeks later, he became ill, was hospitalized, and died. The people close with him and the doctors who treat him agreed that it was not the disease the reason why he died. It was the depression that already killed his will to live. And like him, 40% of young people feel depressed or anxious. And the fear of being judged prevents they seek professional help. So this is why we came up with this solution, Therapsy. It's a web platform to connect the young people with professionals in mental health. to receive an online therapy in the privacy of their own homes. So how does it work? The user enters our platform, choose the specialist, select the date, make the payment, and then he receives an online therapy. After the consultation, our user could give us a feedback. Our value is that we're improving the quality of life of young people. In addition, professionals could have an extra income by using our service. So how big is our market? Well, in Mexico, 30 million young people feel depressed or anxious. 3 out of 4 own a smartphone. And the cost of traditional therapy session is between $50 and $70 only for one session. We're not alone on this. We make a research and we found there's similar solutions out there, but they're not targeting the audience we try to help. For validation and proof, we perform 50 surveys with young people, 30 surveys with mental health professionals. And thanks to that, we have our first 5 active users. Also, we have 8 mental health professionals collaborating with us. And the feedback we have received has been amazing. Oh, and by the way, we won the Star competition in Tijuana back in November. Our business model is simple. Monthly subscription for $99 that include 4 online therapies, or on demand, $39 per session. Oh, and the therapies last 45 minutes. The payment method by bank transfer or deposit. When we will have the platform also will include by credit card. We're giving consultation on Zoom and WhatsApp. On the second stage, Therapsy is building a web platform to continue providing our service. We promote our service through a landing page, Facebook, digital marketing, school campaigns, and direct marketing. I'm very happy to present our project. One of my biggest passions is social entrepreneurship and mental health. So this is why I feel so happy with Therapsy. But none of this will happen without these incredible people who believe in the project with passion and make it possible. So let me introduce you to Eric Garcia, our COO, Bogar Asensio, our CFO, Marco Flores, our CIO, and Omar Villalba, our specialist in marketing. Also, Gustavo Miranda is our legal advisor that is helping us, especially with the processing of personal data. We're seeking funding from investors for $10,000. $6,000 will be used for design and development of the web platform to be completed in August. $3,000 for the first months of a digital marketing campaign to reach our first 1,000 users by the end of the year. And $1,000 for legal support and administrative procedures. Our long-term goals are in 2019, Therapsy will have presence in 10 countries in Mexico. In 2021, we will be in 10 countries. Well, thank you for the opportunity to walk into our entire business. We're very excited to be here sharing our adventure in USD. But before I leave you today, let me remind you why we're doing this. We're supporting emotional well-being. We're trying to end the stigma surrounding mental illness. We want to create a positive social impact and make therapy affordable and reliable so we can help more people like my friend before it's too late. Thank you.
Thank you. Our last pitch of the evening is from the team from Uruguay. That's City Cop, and they're about to come out. City Cop.
Hi, everybody. Good evening. It's an honor to be here. My name is Nadim. I'm co-founder and CEO at City Cop. Today, we really don't know where we are safe. Over 70% of crimes are not reported to authorities for different reasons: fear, bureaucracy. So the only way we have today to know about a crime is because we saw something in the media or a friend told us. As a result, we are totally exposed under different situations, such as when traveling, booking a hotel, or driving through an unfamiliar area. Today, there's absolutely no way to easily know in one single step how safe a given area is. So what can we do? And when I say we, I'm including myself and everybody here today. We present you CityCop as the first social platform for Community Watch. We allow any person to report a crime and send real-time alerts to other persons that are doing the same. As a user, the application is really easy to use. Basically, you have two actions. In the first one, you can report different types of crimes, such as assaults, burglaries, shoplifting, drugs, or even suspicious activities. And in the second action, you can define your areas of interest, such as your home, your work, the school of your children, and receive real-time alerts of what is happening there, and other users are reporting. We are aggregating real-time crowdsourced data with official public safety reports, combining both in a comprehensive syndicated crime database to easily determine how safe a given area is. And to do this in CityCop, we're currently having more than 200,000 users. And we are aggregating official public safety reports from different cities in the US, including San Diego, Los Angeles, San Francisco, and many others. And we have the support of top global accelerators such as Techstars. So what are we looking for? $300,000 to do an official launch in San Diego and keep growing our communities in the US, with also Techstars in this current investment round. And finally, this problem is not only for people, but also for companies across different industries, such as real estate, travel, or transportation. This is why our vision is to be the main source of information for public safety in the world, for end users, private companies, mass media, authorities, or even other apps. So I invite you all to download CityCop so we can all outsmart crime together. Thank you.
Thanks, everyone. So we are about to start the next phase of the evening. The members of our Entrepreneurship Club will guide our angel investors to breakout rooms to my right. There's an electronic display outside each room that tells you the investor and the entrepreneurship team that are being interviewed in each 10-minute meeting. When those meetings are over, the investors will meet, decide how to allocate the funds on the Latin American side and the USD side, and then we'll finish the evening with their announcement of their evaluation and their judgment. And we've got about an hour left. So please stay with us. These meetings are very insightful and add a lot to what you've already heard. So let's move to the next phase. Thank you.